I can't believe that tomorrow I will be on a plane bound for Ireland. Ever since my mom and I went about 2 years ago now, I have been wanting to go back, and this time I will be gone for about 2 months on a sort of self-induced writing residency. This doesn't feel too far out of character to get kind of stuck with this idea and then want to follow through, but the following through is like the tough part. I mean, even now it doesn't quite feel real, and I bet that it probably won't feel real even as I'm like boarding the plane. It's definitely scary, and I've had a lot of bittersweet goodbyes this past week, but I do feel in my heart that this is something that I need to do. As a kid, I often felt like a bad example of a Sagittarius because I would read all of these posts about how they had this insatiable desire to travel, and while I would feel that, I never could truly picture myself being brave enough to travel alone. But I'm not traveling alone because I'm bringing you along with me all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. And I know that this video could be helpful to literally so many other people because it is so comforting to me to know that I am also not traveling alone. I also wouldn't consider myself too much of an anxious traveler, which is honestly hilarious because literally anything else in my daily life gives me anxiety. But I've also only solo traveled once before, and that was within the US, so I do feel like this is going to be just a whole new ballpark. I am going to be spending today with my brothers and kind of finishing these last minute things on my to-do list, like laundry and repacking, which is honestly something that nobody tells you, that once you pack, you have to keep repacking because the things that you need are already packed. But before I do all that, I did want to share a few of my favorite tips that have definitely helped me on my flights before, just for my fellow anxious travelers. Some of these are travel specific, but some are just things that help to reduce my anxiety in daily life. The first is to make a plan. Now, this one might seem really obvious, especially if you have never traveled internationally before, but to me, making a plan and knowing everything before I go is like giving my brain a dose of anti-anxiety medication. I will literally do so much research before I go on any flight. I have watched so many POV videos for the specific airlines that I'll be traveling, and the one that I'm traveling on is kind of small, so I can't imagine how many specific POV videos there probably are for like the bigger airlines. And I also do a lot of research on the specific terminals that I'll be in, like what kind of food is there? How do I get to my gate? What does the security process look like? Honestly, I just try to get enough information that I can clearly picture myself there, walking confidently and knowing what I'm doing. Along the same lines of airport terminals, I've also started planning to get myself a little treat because honestly, travel day is stressful enough, and so you should definitely get yourself a treat. Personally, I aim for like a strawberry banana smoothie or some pretzel bites from my favorite stand, but whatever you choose, make sure that it is something that will stay settled in your stomach, especially if you are someone like me who gets really anxious. And getting a little treat during your layover or when you land is honestly a great hack because not only does it give you something to look forward to, but you're also probably going to be hungry when you get off, so you've just fed two birds with one stone. I also like to make a detailed itinerary, not only for like my travel day, but for the first day that I'm there, just so I don't have to think about it when I land. Beforehand, I will hop onto my maps and I'll use the 3D feature to kind of walk up and down the streets, check out the area, and mark places that are nearby that I would like to visit. The second tip I have is to bring familiar comfort items. I don't care what anyone says, bring your teddy. They'll bring you so much comfort while you're away, and just knowing that my teddy is in my backpack and waiting for me when I get off is such a comfort. You can even spray them with a familiar perfume or essential oils that you love for an added sense of relief because our smell memory is really strong. Along those same lines, I also download my favorite comfort movies and TV shows and music. I mean, chances are on a long haul flight you'll have in-seat entertainment, but I always have my favorite things on hand just in case there's nothing that I want to watch or I'm feeling overwhelmed and just want an extra sense of familiarity. I don't know if you've seen that trend on TikTok recently where one person is like, hey, how long is the flight? And the other person's like, oh, it's 2.5 hours. And then they say, that's enough time to watch the entirety of the Lego Batman movie. But there's no TV. That's no problem. black. And then they proceed to recite the entire movie. That is me with Zootopia. The third tip I have is to try to stick to routines. I try to do this as much as possible when I'm traveling, not only while I'm there, but during flights too. This time around, my flight is going to be at night, which is great because I will beat some of that jet lag, but I will also be able to do my bedtime routine before I board. Wash my face, hydrate, take some melatonin or drowsy medication, put on my sleep mask, get comfy. And the eye mask that I use is so comfortable. It's like a blackout eye mask, but it has like a little indentation where your eyes go so that you don't feel that weird pressure of a fabric on your face when you're trying to sleep. And finally, my last tip, which is probably the most important one of all, is to remember that even while you are solo traveling, you are never truly alone. Even if you have done all of this prep and you feel like you've planned everything perfectly, something might go awry, but there are so many people who will be around to help you. The flight attendants, the gate officers, the help desk, they're there to make sure that you get to where you need to be. You can also always call your family for support or your friends for advice. Just because you're stepping away doesn't mean that your support system leaves you. And not only that, but you will be so proud of yourself for being brave and for asking for help when you need it and persevering through the uncomfortable feelings to get to experience something new. And worst case scenario, you can always fly back home. But at the end of the day, you will be okay. Alrighty, that is it for me for now. I gotta get up and get those last few things taken care of, but I will chat with you all tomorrow at the airport. I truly cannot believe that this is finally it. Here we go.
Nobody saw us silently floating out at some hotel.
Hey, are you bothering my friend?
Hey.
Yeah, get it, get it.
Open, we would have disappeared. But one day, loons sing. I will think of that distant prairie eyes, skipping western skies, then running off alone again. Nobody sees me here in this concrete, washing my dishes, hanging my laundry. Nobody needs me as much as I need them. Constantly leaving, constantly leaving you. One day, losing. I will think of that distant prairie eyes, skipping western skies, and wondering what it even meant.
Alrighty, y'all, I am officially in Dublin, and I wanted to do a little check-in earlier, but unfortunately there was just way too many people for me to even get a spot by myself. But here I am. I said goodbye to my brothers, which was really hard, but thankfully I was very brave and I did not cry. Security was the smoothest it's ever been. I didn't have to walk very far to my gate at all. We were delayed, but that actually worked out in my favor because they were in such a rush to get us back on time that they didn't check my bag, which is great because I think it is a little oversized and I thought I would be able to squish it down, but I'm not sure. And it would have been fine except for the fact that I was kind of stressed about it the whole time. So I didn't really relax enough to be able to write or read. So I kind of just sat and people watched for a little bit, which was still pretty fun. They gave us dinner and then I took my melatonin and I was out. It wasn't the best sleep that I've ever had. I also had a row to myself, which was super nice. I'm really glad that I trusted the universe because sometimes it works out in your favor. And now we're here and I have about 2 hours until my bus leaves. So I'm going to pop downstairs and get myself a toasty. But before I do, I really just wanted to take a moment to say that if you are thinking about going on a trip, you definitely should, even if you are scared about traveling alone. There were definitely moments where I thought that I wouldn't be able to do this, but here I am. And at the end of the day, you really do just have to trust your intuition and trust that you will be able to figure things out, because it's going to be worth it. Believe that it will be worth it. I can't believe that I'm actually here. This is crazy. You know how I said to always have a plan? Well, when I got to the airport, I knew that I was going to have time to kind of figure out the bus situation, and I wanted to take that one step at a time. So I got to where I needed to be for my first bus, but then I ended up missing my second bus. My first bus was 4 hours, and I started to get really motion sick at the end of it. So I'm glad that I did not throw up immediately when I got off, because we got stuck in traffic, and then I ended up having to walk from that bus stop to another bus stop, which was like 10 minutes away, and then it ended up taking like 15 minutes because of how heavy my suitcase was, and I was just trying to like lug everything around, and then I ended up missing the bus, and it was a whole thing, and I was just kind of standing there not sure what to do. I popped into like a little convenience store and got myself a sandwich for later. I couldn't freaking read the timetable, so I ended up almost missing it again, but luckily the drivers were switching out, so I had a little bit of time, and it's a really good thing that I had cash on me from the last time that I was here, because I hadn't been able to like exchange cash or anything. And then when I tried to pay with card, he's like, well, we only take cash. So anyways, I'm here now, I'm getting settled. I took a shower because it was insanely hot. I didn't think Ireland could get this hot. But I literally sweat through my shirt, and it was nasty. That was the first thing I did, was I took a little rinse, and then I kind of got acquainted with the house. I took myself on a little walk, and now I'm here. I did nap on the bus, but only because the first time it was accidental, and then the second time was because it was the only thing that I could do to not focus on throwing up. So I think I'm going to get comfy cozy in bed and maybe edit this video for a little bit, and then probably fall asleep so that I can have a good long day tomorrow. I'm sure you are going to see a lot of me in the next couple months. But yeah, that'll be it for me for tonight. I will see you all in the next one. Happy writing.